Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga. This morning, I'm starting with a reading that I received. I get an email from Marianne Williamson, amongst others, every week, every day, actually, for inspiration. And this one inspired me to share it and also to use it as a theme for this week's yoga. So I'll just start with that. Let's just start with that. Everybody just find a nice, comfortable way to sit. Use your block for support if you like that. Come to a meaningful position so you're right away starting to transition into your yoga practice. So you start by mindfully positioning yourself just as we begin to set our intention and find this theme for all of us. May I let go of who I am not, that I might be who I really am. When Michelangelo was asked how he created a piece of sculpture, he answered that the statue already existed within the marble. God himself had created the Pieta, David, Moses. Michelangelo's job, as he saw it, was to get rid of the excess marble that surrounded God's creation. So it is with you. The perfect you isn't something you need to create because God already created it. The perfect you is the love within you. Your job is to allow God to remove the fearful thinking that surrounds your perfect self, just as excess marble surrounded Michelangelo's perfect statue. The great enlightened beings of the world are those who have done that, who have actualized the spiritual potential that exists inside us all. By following their path, we follow the path that leads to our own enlightenment. Dear God, please free me from the layers of fear that surrender my true self. Liberate me from my false beliefs that I might be in the world who I really am in you. Amen. Again, may I let go of who I am not, that I might be who I really am. And this chant that I've taught you, the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, really speaks to that very sort of theme. Om Namo again translates in the Sanskrit to I bow to the universe, I bow to the great universe, all that is, to God. Gurudev Namo, again, Namo is the bowing. I bow to the Gurudev, the divine teacher within. So we are our best teacher. We have the source right within us to be living that true self. That absolute perfection of love that is within us. So let's begin with our chanting. So I want you to just bring your hands into that prayer position with your thumbs resting against your chest bone. And as we sort of tilt our head to bow into our heart, take a big breath in with me. We'll exhale that out. Again, in breath in, just syncing up the breath, exhaling it out. And then this will begin the chant. It's done 3 times. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Just stay for a moment, eyes closed, hands in that prayer position, just centering yourself, breathing in and breathing out, feeling your connection to your body by way of your breath, connection to your breath by way of your body. Connecting now to that Gurudev. All right, let's begin our asana practice. Let's do some work, starting with standing. So let's get energized, shall we? We'll start in our standing position. I've got my chair turned so that the back of the chair is nearby. See how I've got it? I've got the back of the chair available to me. So that's going to support me when I need it. So I'm going to just say, I'm starting in front of that. I don't think I need it immediately. Get your feet open as wide as you feel comfortable with. That gives you a wide base. And let's just begin the movement side to side. So we're going to warm up the hips to begin with. So really exaggerate that movement. So getting your pelvis to swing side to side. Of course, there's a bend in the knee to accomplish that. You can't be locked knee when you're doing that. So let's begin and see if you can find the connection to your breath right away. Try to breathe in and out through your nose if you're comfortable with that. If you need to use your mouth for breathing, don't sweat it. Just moving into feeling your body weight into your legs. So even as you shift your weight from one foot to the other, you start to really feel this connection to the ground, this sense of, grounding and being really present in your body, your full length of your body. Sometimes we land in our head and we think that's good enough. We want to be in the full experience of our body, feeling it, being aware of that. Now I want you to just slow it down so that you're really exaggerating the shift, the rocking side to side. And then let's add some circles so it's more like that hula hoop. So this time we'll be forward and back. So it includes a more circular motion. And so it's a little more thorough in the movement throughout the pelvis. Again, keep a soft bend in your knee. Adjust that stance however you need to so you feel nice and solid, well supported. Really connecting yourself to the experience within your body. Find your breath. Let's take a wide stand now. Just opened up a little wider. Feet are parallel. So you're not going to draw your heels in and let your toes point out, but you're trying to really square your feet away so the feet are parallel to the outside. Well, I guess you guys probably don't have a mat, but sometimes I make a quick reference to the mat to figure that out. Let's find that wider stance and just begin dropping down to touch toes. So it's just a real slow movement where you're just going to stretch yourself down to touch the opposite toe. Now manage the weight of your head. So as you're coming down, you're allowing that head's weight to just come on down with you. You're not trying to fight it where you're trying to somehow hold it up and cause a strain in your neck. Just allow your head to float on down. The weight of the head can float on down with you. A couple more at this nice slow pace. I like to be, probably noticed I like to weave in a lot of crossing over the body, getting right side to touch the left, trying to energize ourselves with that crossover and integrate both energies. And then hold it, whichever side you're on right now, get both hands to your ankle or to the back of your calf or however it is, and then totally surrender the weight of the head so that the top of the head, the crown of the head is really dropping down. It's more like you've got your nose drawing in towards your knee, perhaps, or your face drawing in towards your leg. Let's give that one full breath cycle, nice and steady. Try one more. Wander your way to the center, and then use your hands, or maybe you want to grab your block to prop you up to this sort of halfway lift. I'll give you a side view in case you need to peek at it. So I've got my legs in that wide open position, and now I've just come into a halfway lift, kind of a tabletop of the back. Start wandering your way now over to the other leg. Same thing where you surrender the weight of your head. It's like you're trying to bring your face towards your leg. Eyes are wide open, so you really keep your bearings. You feel like you know where you are. Full breath in and out, even here, even now. Big breath. Wander back to the center and then get your hands, jump your hands to your thighs, squeeze those elbows into your waist, soften the knees quite a bit, and bring yourself all the way up. Take a pause right here where you are. Legs in that wide stance. Shoulders are back and down. Let's extend the arms now at shoulder height. Turn palms up and back to down. So just rotate around. Maybe the thumb is your lead, and you just start rotating now. Nice strong belly, strong legs. Feel the surface of your feet to the ground. I have a particular stance that's comfortable for my body, but you might say, I want it not so wide. That's better for me. So you please pay attention to what your body needs and go for that. Rotating around. And let's inhale up together. Palms come together up and overhead. Exhale as you bow into yourself. Then namo. Inhale up. Exhale, go wide. And just see if you can just take that wide stance and bring your arms behind you. Head is neutral. And pull your arms back. Pull the belly in. Drop a tailbone as another source of grounding, a root. You've got your legs rooting into the earth. See if you can find the root of your tailbone, which will kind of level out your pelvis. So you don't have a tilt in it, but instead your pelvis is more in its verticality. Full breath in and out. Can you interlace hands so that you really are able to keep those shoulder blades drawing towards center? And soften the knees quite a bit. And try a fold here. Come all the way down, all the way down. I'm positioned in position now where I got a hold of my chair. So I want you to be aware that you might say, well, I got to step around, got to do something a little different so that I've got the use of my chair to help me find stability in this. Surrender the weight of your head. Don't try to hold it up. Instead, try to release or surrender as best you can. Hands are going to come to the thighs. We're going to bring ourselves up about halfway, creating more or less an L shape. And then all the way up, back to standing. Take a pause right here. Once you feel caught up with your breath, position yourself in such a way that the chair is in fact right near to you so that you've got it as support. And I want you to just find a pattern of movement where your opposite limbs are matching up. So I'm just saying, my arms are swinging, and when I swing my arms, I kick out. You could do that with a bent knee. So just find a pattern that works for you. And try to keep yourself within a kind of a framework here. So you're not just swinging those arms wildly, but they're kind of following and hugging in toward the midline a bit. At the pace that works for you. Pay attention to your breath. That's going to be your guide. Let's stand for a moment, both feet together. Take one foot forward. And then just recreate that move. Now it's just kind of come to stillness. And let's have palms face forward. Try to turn away from the chair. Soften the knees any way you need to. Pull in the belly. Inhale, palms come up. Exhale, bow into yourself at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, arms come down. Get a hold of that chair, bring feet back together, take a pause. And I'm going to turn so that when we come into that other side, you'll be able to see that a little differently. So back to our movements. Whoops. Back to the movements, whichever way, bent knee, straight leg, however, that you're matching opposite limbs in motion here. I like to practice balancing poses like this, moving, because this is more true to our daily lives experience, isn't it? That we're going to want to know how to balance, feel ourselves within our body while we're moving about. Take a break whenever you might need to. Both feet to the ground. And then now try the other foot steps forward. And let's open it out. So you feel a twist. Palms face forward, feet to the ground, softness of the knee, pull in the belly. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhale up, palms come together. I'm coming out of the twist. Exhale, bow into myself at the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, arms down. Get a hold of the chair. Bring your feet back together. Good time now to do some movements of flex and extension. So let's get one leg in motion, a straight leg up and a back, and a bent knee comes back. Keep your spine long. Find your breath. Let's take a bent knee forward now and just lift and hold. See if you can bring hands to the prayer position. Just hold it. All body weight into the standing leg. Let's get a hand back to the chair. Take that same foot now back rather than bent knee. Take it back. Hold. Lift that knee up and take a step forward. So I've been just touching the chair the whole time. You can decide if you're wanting to experiment without that. Back to the bent knee up, and again, we're putting all our body weight into that standing leg, maybe hands at the prayer position. More of a balance challenge. And release both feet to the floor. We're going to turn ourselves around so we can do the same thing on the other side. Take a pause now, make sure you're all caught up with your breathing. Straight leg forward, bent knee back, flex and extend at the hip. That leg that's in motion, of course, is following a track. Try to keep your spine very vertical and not too much rock and roll going on. Isolating the movement in the leg, in the hip. Let's hold that bent knee forward and see if we can do it without the use of the chair. So our standing leg on this other leg now gets a chance to get stronger, more stabilized. Good bone mass that we're developing here. Finish those breaths every time. That same foot now, we're going to step back. I've got a hold of the chair here. Just hold it. Just be there. Shoulders are square. Hips are square. We're going to come forward now. High knee. Step that foot forward. So it's kind of a scissor position with our legs. You can continue to hold the chair the whole time. Or not. Your choice. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Got a hold of the chair. Let's come back one more time. The knees up in the air. And both feet come to the ground. I'm going to kind of turn my back to you a little bit sometimes here. Well, I'll see if I can find a happy medium. Maybe angle this out. This is something we practiced before. I think it's pretty. I think it feels like a kind of a dancing move. So I want you to crisscross your leg behind you and just, take a moment to just practice that, where you take, I've got my right leg coming back and around my left. So the left leg is my standing leg. It's my pillar. And I'm wrapping around to the, behind me. So a little different position from what we normally, maintain. So it's like bringing your right side over to your left side of your body. You're bringing your right leg over to the left side of the body and trying to find orientation there. Let's hold it now. See if you can have both heels to the ground and there's a soft bend in the knee. So if your right leg is behind you, that's the right arm that's going to lift to the ceiling. And you could hold on to the chair with your left hand, or you could bring your left hand to wrap around. Pull in the belly, try to drop that root through the tailbone. Try to find a drishti that's up a little higher. Maybe you're looking up, maybe you're looking more at the horizontal level, but a little higher than you might normally choose. Push the palm of your hand up toward the ceiling. One more full breath. Feel your feet. Feel your feet grounded. Now, all the limbs are coming back down. We're going to neutralize, get that foot back so it's back in position with our other leg. Just kind of shake that out. And when you're ready, let's try the other side. So you just stabilize. So your standing leg is now maybe the right leg and it's the left leg in motion if you're following me. Stepping back, trying to get your foot to really step down into the floor. Nice to have the chair. And then let's hold it. You got your foot way back behind you. Left foot is back, so it's the left arm that reaches up. Face your palm of your hand up to the ceiling. Hold the chair with your right hand, or if you want to test that, wrap your right arm around behind you. You can always go back to using the chair. There's a bend of the knees, just a nice soft bend, just what feels natural to you. That's appropriate. Just allow that natural bend of the knee, extend the line. And remember the drishti, trying to look up or a little bit higher than you typically do. Feel your whole breath through your body now, a full body experience of breathing. Excellent. Both hands are going to come back to the chair. Get your feet back in line with each other and let's shake the legs out. Let's turn the chair in such a position that we have the seat of the chair available for us to use for our downward facing dog. So palms are going to come to the chair. You're going to start walking back. Think about this, that the distance between your hands on the chair should match the distance between your feet. Soften the knees and then try to straighten the knees. Soften the knees and then straighten. Let's try a little pulsing like that where you bend the knees intentionally, and then we'll try to straighten them out. So a pulsation or a come and go. Find your full breath. You might find yourself in that ujjayi breath. So you feel that kind of breathing going on. That's just your body's natural way of giving you more power. You should feel your arms gliding past your ears. Now let's discontinue the pulsation and see if we can just hold it as straight a leg as we can. Press in to the ground with the whole surface of your feet. Start with your heel and then move that connection of your feet to the ground all the way through the surface of your foot till you get to your toes. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay with the sensation that you're experiencing, allowing that stretch, that maybe intense sensation in the legs. Start walking yourself back toward the chair. And then let's just come up slowly to allow our blood pressure to release. And we're going to just strike a pose. Come right into your mountain pose, palms facing forward. Eyes open. And find the breath moving from the soles of your feet all the way up the front side of your body. When it reaches the crown of your head, your exhale takes over and that descends down through the back side of your body. So this circle of breath. Soften the knees, they shouldn't be locked. A couple more circles of breathing so you really feel the experience of the breath moving around the whole length of your body. And one more time, palms are going to find their way to that chair seat. Let's step back to another downward dog experience. I want you to do the same thing where the knees bend and then straighten. Tuck your chin in towards your throat so there's a real neutrality about your head, no strain in the back of the neck. So tuck your chin in. Don't try to look at your hands by any means. You're not looking out. You're looking at your toes, perhaps. Bend and straighten. Hold the straight legs, press into the heels. Bring your awareness throughout the sole of your foot, all through the surface of the feet, into the toes, heels, all the way to the toes. Allow the sensation to be a part of your experience. Stay with it. Breathe in and breathe out through that sensation. This is you being you. This is you willing to experience this realness of you. Let's come walking up toward the chair. Again, it's a softness of the spine. We're going to allow ourselves to sort of roll up one vertebrae at a time. Strike the pose of the mountain. Find the circle of breath. Help orient yourself with that circle of breath. This time, let's invite closed eyes. And if you need to position yourself differently so you've got benefit of the hand on the chair while you're doing the closed eye position, please, by all means, offer that support for yourself. And then just go back to the circle of breath once you've oriented yourself properly. So you've got that support. Inhale comes through the front side of the body, all the way to the crown of the head. And the exhale rolls down the back side of the body, all the way to the surface of the feet. Finish the breath you're on. And then let's get our chair positioned so we can sit in it and have use of the block. I'm going to suggest you put the block in between your shins, between your calves, that part of your legs. Your lower legs are holding the block up. And then just bring your feet to the ground where you really feel that connection. You're very mindful of the feeling of the soles of the feet. Maybe this is another opportunity to go back into that circle of breath because it brings us so, clearly into body awareness that you start to really feel and connect with the whole body. Let's bring arms alongside the chair with our hands open so we're in our seated mountain pose now. And let's introduce one more breath practice before we get into some different movements. Let's do that vagal nerve, that breath work that really stimulates the vagal nerve. And of course, why do we do that? It's because this is a way we can regulate ourselves. It's self-regulating. And we can introduce that as a practice where we do some breath work that'll keep our body, our nervous system primarily regulated. So it's the O shape. We create that O shape of our mouth, and our inhale comes right in through the mouth in that O shape. And as you're breathing in, it's like you're lifting your pelvic floor up in towards your belly button. So it's this lift of the perineum while you're inhaling. And the exhale is sort of just a softening of all of that. And then you go back for more. So eyes open or closed, your choice. Focus on a strong inhale that comes in through the O shape of your mouth. And as you're doing it, you're lifting the pelvic floor. Exhaling and softening it all. Exhale completely. Real powerful inhale, isn't it? Really stay with that whole experience of that inhale coming in through the mouth in the O shape. Couple more, please. Stay with it. Beautiful. Let's take up the breath. Hands reach up and overhead. Let's pause there for a moment as we breathe in and we breathe out as our palms are together and we're looking up if that works for our neck. If your neck isn't agreeable to it, you're just going to bring your head into a position that feels comfortable. If you can look up, look up, that's great. Feel the strength of this lifting coming all the way from your legs up into the trunk of your body, finally into your shoulders and up through the arms. So it's not just the arms that's carrying you up like this. Your whole body is engaged in that. Let's take our inhale together here. Exhale, hands come to the heart. We bow into ourselves. Inhale back up. And exhale, go wide and around. Let's see another, it's like a backstroke, inhaling up. Go as far behind you as you can with those arms. Inhaling up, exhale wide. Let's get our arms now back, pulling back into that arch of the back that we call our cow pose, our extension of the spine. Really feel the exaggeration of that. Shoulder blades squeezing toward the middle. And then as we exhale, we round the back body and expand through the back. So it's the shoulder blades pull away from each other as your belly pulls in and the round C shape of your back now takes form. Let's move in our vinyasa, inhaling into that cow pose, exhaling into the angry cat. Be particular about your breath. You know, we know enough now, we're trained enough now in this movement that we can in fact associate the exhale where it should show up on this roundness, and we can bring our inhale back to greet us in this cow posture. Last time. Exhale. We're going to fold forward, reach your arms all the way down. Lay your armpits across your knees if you can. If you got to move your feet, just go ahead and move them. Let the block fall. Let your head, release so that you're looking down and underneath yourself. The neck feels like it's totally relaxed. Feel the belly interacting now with the thighs as you breathe in and breathe out. And you want to emphasize that movement of the belly to give your body, those internal organs, the new rush of oxygen blood flow. Let's jump our hands to our thighs, squeeze your elbows into your waist and bring yourself up about halfway. Reposition your block. So if it slipped away and your legs need to be realigned, take the time now to realign so that the block is between your shins and your elbows now are squeezing in toward the waistline. Let's spread our wings. Step into your feet. Lean as if you're just pushing your weight into your feet. Push your body weight into your feet. Find your full breath. Even as you push the body weight into your feet, feel how strong your thighs are now, your leg muscles. Keep pushing that and let that propel you up. Palms can come together up and overhead. Inhale with me. Exhale, hands at the heart. Inhale back up. Exhale, go all the way around. I'm going to lose the block so I have a little more freedom of movement of the legs, but let's keep our legs where they were, just not going to have the block there quite necessary right now. That'll give us a little more freedom of movement. Inhale up, let's let one hand grab the other wrist. One hand grabs the other wrist so that your palm can just reach up toward the ceiling. Grab hold of the wrist and then pull that extended arm over top of your ear, over top of your head, by way of your ear. And see if you can isolate this movement into the upper body. So your hips stay put. Left to right, you're balanced and connected to the chair. Now I want you to gently, very gently and very mindfully feel and maybe navigate a little movement with your head. So could you turn to look down at the floor, for example? Turn your whole head, not just your eyeballs. Turn your head to look down at the floor. And then very slowly, very mindfully, bring it back to where you started. One more full breath. Lift up, palm reaches up. Straighten up your arms so there's as little bend in the elbow as you can. Inhale with me. Exhale, round all the way down. Take a pause, arms are alongside, just kind of letting the weight of the arms now just drop on down. Connect with your breath, maybe catching up with the breath. Let's get real strong with the belly in case there's little tweaks we want to make in how strong and involved we are with this. Other hand now reaches up with the palm. We grab hold of the wrist, push the palm up, and let that hand grabbing kind of pull that arm over top of the head, over top of the ear. Balance left to right. Hips and buttocks are on the chair squarely. Now gently and with a lot of awareness, a lot of mindfulness, turn your head. Maybe to look down or to just find the movement that your body is informing you of. You pay attention to what your neck needs right now. And maybe it needs to be still. So you decide, stay very mindful, very aware of this communication that's going on with the sensation in your body, particularly your neck. And you're trying to determine, what's the best place for me here? Breathe in, breathe all the way out. Let's get our head back to its neutral position, the place we started. Come back up, push that hand right up into the ceiling, and as little bend in the elbows as we can do. Lift your head. Inhale here. Exhale, arms wrap all the way down and around. And just let them hang. Maybe push back. Let your palms kind of push back behind you. Inhaling up. Exhaling, pushing back. Keep your feet really connected to the floor, where it feels like, even though your arms are the ones that are moving, it feels like your legs are just as involved in this. Pushing your feet into the ground. Let's try a forward fold. As we reach forward, we're trying to get our armpits to come around and lay on top of our kneecaps. And if you need to reposition your feet, we know the rule of thumb here. Open up your knees and open up your feet to match. Surrender the weight of your head, looking down and underneath yourself. And now encourage that experience of belly breathing. Can you get a hold of your block? Mine was right under the chair, so I could easily get it. If you could, please just get a hold of your block and come back into this fold. When you're ready, we're going to jump up halfway where our hands are on our thighs and we're squeezing the elbows in. Once again, it's like you're trying to push all of your body weight into your legs. You're just leaning into your legs. Your bottom has not left the chair, but you're really pushing your body weight in towards your legs. Now, can you get one hand on the block? Doesn't matter. We're going to do both hands. So one hand gets a hold of the block. I put mine on the highest length, so I have a real easy access. And then I'm going to rotate to turn away from that arm. So if I've got my right hand on the block, I'm going to rotate toward my left. So you'll do the opposite. If you've got your left hand on the block, rotate toward your right. See if you can turn your head so that your ear is lifting toward the ceiling, that your left ear is lifting toward the ceiling if you're turning to the left. Your right ear is lifting toward the ceiling if you're turning toward the right. Now hold that. And again, your whole body weight is held in your legs. Breathe in. Breathe all the way out, no matter how loud this breath is. Let's unwind, bring our hands back to our thighs, come back up, take a little breather here where we're just softening and relaxing. Remember which side you turned on. We're going to do the other side now, so just pay attention. Inhale up. Exhale, reach forward to fold all the way down where your armpits come around your knees. You look down and underneath yourself. Inhale and exhale. Hands are jumping to the thighs. Squeeze your elbows in towards your waist. All body weight is pushing into your legs, into the soles of the feet. Real strong in your legs, shoulders pulling back. Let's get our other hand on the block now, the other hand, and rotate away from that. So if I've got my left hand on the block, so I'm rotating my body to turn toward the right side of me. I'm just keeping my right hand at the low back. You really could just navigate that according to what your body naturally wants to do with that arm. Find your breath. Go back to the fullness of your breath and into the strength of your legs holding you here. So it feels like your legs are supporting your whole body weight in this seated position. Exhale completely. Let's unwind. Both hands are back on the thighs, and we come back up and we take a pause. Let's just snap right into our mountain pose. I'm going to move the block so it's out of my way. Catch up with your breath. Don't move until you're all caught up. Cross one leg over the other, centering those knees. Binding your legs is a nice stable way to create a twist opportunity. Inhale with me. Exhale, hands at your heart. Inhale up. And rotate your body toward that top leg. Whichever leg you decided was going to be on top, that's the way you're going to turn. Let's do that individual shoulder roll. So the way we're turning, we want that back shoulder now to start rolling and loosening up so we can really tuck it back there, maybe secure it in some way, sitting on the hand or holding onto the chair. Now move your spine into a very vertical position. Try to see if you can be aware of that, because the tendency in this is to kind of lean one way or another. See if you can bring your spine back to its verticality. And then work with your neck. Pay attention to how it feels to turn your head and stay with it. But you're just going to kind of be patient enough, pulling one shoulder back, letting the other shoulder nudge forward, using your hands to support you on the chair or using your body parts to help give you some leverage so that you can ever so slightly find some more movement, maybe a little more range in the movement of the neck and head today. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. Always letting our breath be our guru Dave. This is the teacher within. The ease of the breath is good information. And the difficulty in the breath also helps us to know what we need to adjust. Let's unwind the head to come out of that, just the head. Then the shoulders will come back to the neutral position. When we uncross the legs, we're going to take a wide stance. Take a couple knee lifts here. Just lift those knees up high in that wide stance. Real high knees. Going to wake up those hips. Strong belly. Let's lift one up and hold it, flex the foot, maybe start circling around here. Get one foot up in the air and you're moving it now. We're going to spread those toes. We're going to wake up, bring some awareness into the feet. Foot to the floor. Let's get the other side. Big high knee. Spin the foot around. Find your breath. Both feet to the floor. Take a little circle now. Let's change the direction, the Sufi roll, returning our awareness to this fluid nature of the body, particularly the hips, so we don't get kind of all robotic in our movement. Let's just loosen it up. As we bring our feet back together, we're now going to cross the other leg on top. So see if you can remember which one you did. You know, just cross the other one on top, binding your legs. Inhale up, exhale heart, up, and then let's turn the other way. Now you're turning toward that top leg. So you're going to start with that individual shoulder roll. Perhaps this is just something I've been really encouraging for myself and for you, but you might find other ways to support your twist. I encourage you to listen to that Guru Dave. Pay attention to what works well for you, but use your arms, use your hands, use the chair to stabilize so that you feel like you've got some leverage here. Let's bring some verticality back to the spine. So try to find both sit bones. So you're not really favoring leaning into one side, left or right, but you found them both. You're balanced in the center. That sweet spot of the center is a good place to find the verticality of your spine. Now back to the breathing all the way through the inhale and all the way through the exhale. Moving your head as your neck will allow, encouraging a little more freedom of movement, a little more trust, and perhaps a little more range today. Pull the belly in. Amazingly, that is always a good solution. It's always a good technique. I don't care what pose you're working on, what movement you're trying to encourage in your body. Pulling that strong, stable core into action is always going to be helpful. Let's unwind the head first, and then the shoulders. And then just take a wide stance as you come out of your cross-legged position. We're going to fold forward and back, trying to lower yourself down to the level of your thighs and your knees and come back up. So it's a nice long spine that's just folding down like that. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Make sure your heels are under your knees. If your feet are too far away from you, you don't have nearly the support and stability that you need. So get your feet underneath your knees. Get your heels underneath your knees. Some pulsing movement, a fold in and then coming back upright, folding down and in and then upright. Next time you're in your folded position, can you spring your hands away from your legs and just hold it with the strength of your legs? Pour all the body weight back into the legs like we did a moment ago. Pour all your body weight into your thighs, into your legs, into the feet. Tuck your chin in towards your throat so the back of your head, your neck, and spine are in alignment. You're relying on the strength of your legs, the grounding. Let your legs and now your arms lift you back up to neutral all the way up. Palms come together. Inhale with me. Exhale, heart. Let's hold it here at the heart position. I'm going to introduce another mudra to you, just a lovely one. You turn your hands. So instead of, I'm going to just give you a little side view. Instead of hands in that prayer position, turn those palms down or your hands down so the fingers point away from you. And then open up your thumbs like you were opening up a book. Let the fingertips stay connected. See if I can give you a better view of that. So your fingertips stay connected, but you've opened your thumbs away from the palms so that's like you've opened a book. And that is right here at the solar plexus. That's where we hold that mudra of abundance, this gesture of abundance. It's along the lines of our open palms, where we often open up our hands to begin our practice as a way of receiving. This opens us to abundance. Let's close the eyes and just see if we can be there in that. There's abundance in all ways. So if you're getting hung up on, maybe I'm talking about that I want you to have more money. I'm not there. That's not where I'm at. See if something else comes to mind. What's the abundance that you're calling on? Invoke abundance with this posture. I am invoking a lightness of being, an abundant experience of that. Lightness of being. Here's a little prayer. Lead me from the unreal to the real. Lead me from the darkness to the light. Lead me from mortality to immortality. Let's release the mudra and bring our hands up and overhead as we sync up our breath. Inhale. Exhale, bow into yourself. Namo, Guru Dev. Up and all the way around. Hands are on the thighs, and we return to this fluid movement of the Sufi roll, the Sufi grind, feeling our body weight circle around through the pelvis, stabilized by the connection of our legs to the ground. When we come back to center, let's bring our legs back in alignment with our hips. Shrug those shoulders, squeeze and release. Shrug, release. Let's do a few more. Try drawing the whole inhale. Big long inhale is the shrug, and then release for the whole exhale. So connecting your breath to this movement might elongate the experience a little bit. And then any reset your body might need, any kind of movement that your body is looking for, please introduce that now as we start moving our way into the chair, into the back of the chair, I should say, scooting your bottom back so that you feel the support that our final meditation, our final relaxation allows. This Shavasana. Close your eyes as soon as you're comfortable doing that. Take your time. So if there's some ritual you have established here, I really want to encourage you to stay with that. That maybe you go sit someplace different, or you bring a pillow in or something else that gives you more comfort. And then you allow yourself to relax into that, closing your eyes down and just really zeroing in on the experience within. Remember, you are not the breather. You are being breathed. And that, my friends, is our invitation to this knowledge of our true self. May I let go of who I am not, that I might be who I really am. Let the chair hold you now. Let the breath support you. Go in and in. I'm going to rely on my Vishoka meditation technique that I learned last fall. So follow along if you choose to come into a deeper experience of relaxation as we bring our awareness to the heart center. We breathe in and out as though that's where we have located ourselves, right at the chest bone, what's called the heart center. Bring your awareness to your right shoulder joint as you continue to breathe in and out. Awareness moves to the elbow joint, right side. The right wrist. Take 2 breaths in and out as you bring your awareness to all 5 of your right fingers. We move back to the wrist, to the elbow, right shoulder joint, and back to the heart center. Breathe in and breathe out at the heart center. Bring your awareness to your left shoulder joint, left elbow, wrist. Take 2 breaths to become aware of the 5 left fingers. We're back into our wrist, our left elbow, left shoulder joint, and the heart center. Breathe down into the navel center, center of your belly. Breathe into the navel center, in and out. And now into the right hip joint, your right knee, ankle, the sole of your foot, and breathe into the toes. Back to the ankle, the right knee, the right hip joint, and the navel center. Awareness flows to the left hip joint, the left knee, ankle, the sole of the foot, and your toes on your left foot. Back to the ankle, the left knee, the left hip joint, the navel center, heart center, the space between your eyebrows. Breathing in and out in the space between the eyebrows. And finally, resting at the crown of the head. On your next exhale, take your exhale down the length of the spine to the root of the spine where you're sitting. Draw your inhale from the root all the way up the length of the spine to the crown. Exhale down or descend your spine to its root. Inhale up to the crown. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of your mouth. Ah. 2 more like that. Take a big cleansing breath in. Release it from your mouth with a sigh. Ah. Let's flutter the eyes back open. Maybe come forward on your chair so you're not leaning into the backrest again. Let's sync up our breath one final time. Inhale up, palms come together. Look up if you can. Exhale, bow into yourself. Namo. Inhale back up. Exhale, go wide to share this beautiful energy with our communities. Palms together at the heart, we bow into ourselves and to one another. Namaste, my friends. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and thank you for joining me.